Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Evan Carthy from evancarthy.com. Today we are going to look at, real quick, to start off this week, S&P 500, Dow Jones, Nasdaq, and then also oil, Bitcoin, and Litecoin, real quick. Just because for the major markets, there's not a whole lot going on. And starting off here with S&P 500, looking at the daily chart, you can see how there's the top of this purple line right here. What we were looking for on the hourly chart last week, it did come and get filled. What I was looking for is once price broke out into this purple area right here, I was looking for the top of this purple box to come here sometime this week and get filled. I thought it would happen Thursday or so, but obviously it didn't happen until Friday. And so price came up and hit it, completed this long setup here in S&P 500 that I was looking for. As you can see for it, it was just a continuation of a five-wave move, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Came back, bounced off the 38% line of the retracement right there, and that's what initiated that long setup we were looking for um, from it as well, which created actually a second one within this bigger one from the daily chart. So that one is complete, and to be honest, there is not any other setups right now that have started up. If you use this low down here going up to this high, that creates one right there, and then using that to right there, there is a potential for another five-wave setup right there, which the price could be just starting to get into there. It need to go a little bit higher, just get into that target zone box, but that hasn't quite gotten there just yet. And so when that happens, then we would be looking for some type of pullback back into the 38% box, starting from right there and then moving it all the way back down there. And if it comes down and hits down there after hitting that box, hitting about 34.11, actually it'd be a little bit higher depending on where it reverses in this box. If it does so, that'd create another long setup. But we're just waiting for that right now. There's to see what's going to happen with that. So probably for S&P 500, in my opinion, expect a little bit more move higher as the week starts out, get up somewhere in here, and then see some type of sell-off coming back down into this area as the week goes on. You know, probably it could happen even on Monday. Go up Monday, come back and retrace back down. That wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities at all. But I just don't know at this point. There isn't any major setup that's in right now, so just gonna have to wait and see. And then over here with the Dow Jones, a little bit different for the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq from the S&P 500. The reason why is we could still have a potential short setup if the price closes below this blue line right here before, let me put this black line on here, before hitting this high. So if price goes up here, breaks this high up here, then this short setup is gone. We don't have to worry about that at all. But if price does not come up and break this black line right here, but goes and breaks below this blue line somewhere right here, then the target area would be looking for would be down here at about 24,946. Of course, price can go lower than that, but that's the target area I look for when price breaks back into this blue line. So the only way to get out of this short setup is for price to continue to go up and break this previous high right there. Then if it does that, we'd be on the lookout for new setups, because this five-way move right here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be done, and look for something else. Going over to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is in the same boat as the Dow Jones. See down here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we had a big extension up here, five-wave extension right there for the fifth leg of it right there. See it overshot the target area box I look for, which does happen from time to time. But we can see it did break the orange line right here, and when it does that, goes into the green area. We look for the top of this target box, and basically all that is using the number 1 right here of the Elliot Wave move up to the number 5. See, there's the orange line, there's top of that blue box, that's the 38% line. That's the target we look for. That did go and get hit, so that one is complete. And then the second one we look for was when price breaks this blue line right here, somewhere in it, not just breaks, but closes below it. When it closes below this blue line right here, then we look for the next 38% line, which is going to be down here, 10,215. And how you get that is down here, use a 0 point and the 5 point. Here's the Fibonacci retracement area right here. You see the blue line right there. That's the Fibonacci retracement, 38%. and then I just draw the blue box right there. So that's the target area we would be looking for, but just like in the Dow Jones, if the price continues to move up, breaks this high before breaking this blue line, or not, excuse me, not breaking it, closing below this blue line right here, then that would be said and done, and we wouldn't be looking for this short setup moving forward anymore. If we go into the 1 hour chart right here as well, you can see you just had a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 just get hit, came down, broke the blue line, hit the 38. That started the long setup using the fib speed resistant fan right there, broke into the purple area. There's your exit right there. Finished that one up there, and so we're just waiting for, can't use that, so you have to use that low. So just looking for a retracement back down here somewhere. We haven't received it yet for it. Hasn't come down and hit the 38% line. So that is all we're waiting for right there. So we'll see if more bullishness continues for both the Nasdaq and the Dow Jones to overtake those previous highs, which would get us out of these short setups right there. And then for the S&P 500, we are looking for price to move up into this area somewhere, and then eventually to have some type of retracement. So we'll just see how far the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq move up to see if that would get rid of the short setups or not. And then let's go look at crude oil real quick, because looking here in the 1 hour chart, well, excuse me, let's go to the daily chart real quick and see the daily chart. I mean, ever since that crazy day when it went to the negatives, for a while there, ever since about probably June, early June, it's just been in a range is what crude oil has been in, going all the way up from about $43 all the way down here to about $34. So it's been close to a $9, $10 range here for the past couple months within it. So it's kind of settled in this area, just waiting for the world to open up. People start consuming more oil out there with all their travel and everything before it's really going to do anything. So right now, just kind of holding tight. But here on the 1 hour chart, here we have the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. You see the price already broke into the green right here. There's the close, so there would have been the entry right there. So the exit we have right here is this orange line. There's just the 38% line going down here from the number 1 of the Elliot Wave, using the number 5 up there for pivot point high. So it already closed down in here. So the exit we're looking for is the 38% line, which is going to be $40.07. And then if price breaks into this blue area right here and closes into the blue area, the next one we're going to look for is the top of this blue box, which is the Fibonacci retracement from the 0 point to the 5 point, and that is going to be about 39.64. Price does come down there and hit that, then we will start looking for a long setup right here using that pivot point high, and then just wherever the pivot point low ends up being, we just mark it right there and wait for it to break into the purple box. That would be the entry, and then the exit would be just somewhere on the sliding scale of the purple line of the fib speed resistance fan right there. So definitely looking for some downside in oil to start off the week, and then if we get it going low enough down here, down to 39.63, then we would be looking for some type of long setup as well. But I mean, it's not going to be a huge move at all. It's just like I showed just a little bit ago. I mean, we've been stuck in this range right here, and there's nothing showing that it's going to get out of it anytime soon. So it takes some major news, some major disruption in the supply versus demand for it to really break this $43, $44 level right up here, and for to go up into the next area up over there. Now Bitcoin, we're going to do Bitcoin and Litecoin right here. Last week I talked about we are in a short setup for Bitcoin right here. You can see price using the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave move. Here it is up in the target area. It did give a reversal from it. Broke down, broke the orange line right there, closed into it, and then right when it closed into it, it hit the target area, the 38% line right there. So that one's set and complete. But then price did come down and broke into the blue area down here, closed into it. So that initiated that short setup right there. And so the target we're looking for was about 9,440. But one of the things I do look for, if price doesn't continue its downtrend down, but moves back up, then what I look for is when price comes up here and hits the 68% Fibonacci retracement line. Let me say there's the high, there's the low. Okay, let's kind of draw this where it's supposed to go. There we go. That's just recognizes that's the 38% line down here. This is a 61.8% line right there. So if price continues to move up, hits that 61.8% line at about 11,575, then if I was going to short this, because I don't short Bitcoin or Litecoin, any of that stuff, I only go long on them. But for like the futures contracts, I do that. So what I would do is short it right up here, 11,575, and then the target would be the 38% line at 10,915. So that's going to be the target area, only if the price continues to move up and hits 11,575. If it doesn't hit this target area up here, then the current target down here still remains at the 38% line, which is going to be about 9,415. And even if price does come up here and hit the 61.8% line right there, price still can come down here and hit the overall 38% retracement line from that 5-wave Elliot Wave move. Of course it can, but just to be safe, in the way I trade is if it comes up here and it's showing that it is receiving bullishness going up over there, then I move my exit way up here to get out of there at a profit at the 38% line, because I have seen it before. Price not come down here and hit the 38% line, just continue to take off, but not before price hits the 61.8, comes back and hits the 38% line. And so that's the way I just trade that, just to be safe and get out of there. And then lastly, Litecoin right here, talked about this briefly last week. What I was looking for is for the price from this, let's go down here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Price did come and break the 5th speed resistant line right here, closed above it right there. So once it did that, I actually, from this one, I had my entry down here at the 30% line, had a limit order rating. As you can see, once price closed above it, it never came down and hit it. So unfortunately, I wasn't able so far I haven't been able to get into it. So now the new entry for me would be down here about 47.57, assuming price doesn't continue up and hit the target of 52.59. So if price retraces back, my first entry would probably be somewhere right around here, 47.57, maybe a little bit lower. And the second entry I would have for it, let's draw this little box right here, would be the 61.8% line, 45.32. Because if price comes down here and hits at 38%, then my target would be just below this right here at about, say, about 52.10ish, something like that. But then if the price comes down, it keeps going lower and hits the 61.8 line, I would get in right there and then move both the exits to just right about the 38% line at about 47.50. Not a big gainer, but a little bit of something to get out of there. But that's just the way I trade this setup right here. But then if price does continue to go up and hit the 30% line right there, then we would be looking for a short setup for it as well, using that pivot low, and then whenever it ends up on the pivot high, whatever right there, we'd look for price to eventually break down into the purple box and then take it down to somewhere wherever the bottom of this is, down the starting between about the 46.50ish area all the way up to 47ish, something like that. So that is what's going on there. Those are the cryptos, talking about oil and all that other stuff. So y'all be safe, take care, bye.